Tuesday on Home and Family. Hollywood producer and author Devon Franklin is joining us. And Allie is making almond butter white chocolate snack bars.
Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest is a Harvard and Yale trained emergency room physician. Wow. And a renowned health expert. Her new book, Mom Hacks, is going to improve the lives of mothers everywhere, and we could not be happier for that. Please welcome to our home Dr. Darria Long-Gillespie. Welcome. Thank you. Dr. D, where have you been all our lives? We're so excited to have you here. So, you know, it's unfortunate. Maria and Orly are joining us because they're both mothers. And it's unfortunate that we... No, you're not unfortunate. I just want to introduce you. It's unfortunate that we as mothers, and it's just generally accepted, that after we become mothers, our health and our well-being suffer. And we all just go, well, it's because I'm a mom. But from your experience in the ER, you have realized this does not have to be the case. How did working in the ER make you realize this?
Debbie, you are exactly right. So here's where it came from. As an ER doctor, I have a feeling that no matter what comes in those double doors, no matter how chaotic it is, I can handle it and I've got this. But then in my own life, I became a patient. I developed an autoimmune arthritis. Oh, gosh. And then I became a mom, and suddenly I didn't feel that way anymore. And I got worried, and I looked at my other fellow moms, and I realized we felt the same way, and we felt overwhelmed, and we did not feel any, I've got this. And it was so bad at one point I couldn't stand up to see my patients. I had to pull up a garbage can and sit on it.
Because of your arthritis.
I couldn't stand.
Goodness.
It was such a low point. So I started to look at what's going on, especially once I became a mom and really thought, I've got to turn this around. And so I was able to really take control of my arthritis and turn around those symptoms and really make some big changes. So when I became a mom, I thought, what did I do there? What did I learn from that? And what is that mentality I have as an ER doctor that gives me that I've got this? How can I create something so that moms, myself, we can all have that feeling of I've got this in our everyday life? And that's where they came from, because I'm an ER doctor, so they had to be science-backed, but I was obsessed with time saving, and that's the whole point. If you do just one hack, you'll feel better, you'll feel I've got this, and anyone can do it.
And I got to say, being the only dad in the group, I mean, obviously your book is geared towards moms, but there's so many great points and information and insights in your book that can help everybody. And one of the things that or two of the things that you focus on, actually, sleep and stress management with respect to moms that affect a lot of moms out there. And then tell us some of the mom hacks or some of the things that you can do to help people that get affected by both of those.
And Cameron, I'm glad you brought that up, because most of the things in this book are universal. Whether you are a mom and dad, where you have no children, they can help everybody. So I've had friends who are dads say, can we just rip off the cover so we can read it? So as far as sleep goes, I was in residency and I had just finished this 36-hour shift, and suddenly I started crying. And I remember going to my president, like, I don't know why I'm crying, because it was ugly sobs. It was bad. And she was like, Darria, it's because sleep deprivation, it's a form of torture. They use this to break people, at which point I learned two things. One is that I would never be a spy, because I would have given away nuclear secrets to get a nap. So
Long time ago.
Any CIA recruiter watching right now is like, cross her off the list. But
Darria,
I also,
check. Done.
Done. X. Oh, well. I also learned that when I became a mom and I was exhausted and I just felt like I was going to become emotionally volatile, I wasn't losing my mind. I was just tired, and it was normal, and I needed to get some sleep. So I was able to give myself some permission about that. So a quick hack. Do any of y'all have this thing? You can barely get out of bed in the morning. You're dragging all day, and then when you finally go to bed, you're like, laying at the ceiling, wide awake. Why is that?
Like your circadian rhythms are off.
Exactly. Bing, bing, bing. Have you been reading the book? Good girl.
I knew you were
Yes,
coming.
you make me proud, Debbie. So exactly, your body clock or circadian rhythm is off. And so here's one hack to reset it. It's kind of like, you know, on your smartphone, you press two buttons at the same time. I want everybody tomorrow to, the moment you wake up, get bright light. You can look at outside if it's bright. You can look at your bathroom bright makeup lights, or your smartphone, or even an alarm clock if you have those alarm clocks that light up. Get bright light. Here's what it does. It goes back, it tells your brain, shut down melatonin production, time to wake up, and it resets your clock so that not only are you more energetic in the moment, since your clock's reset, it's going to be easier to fall asleep at night, and then every single morning is easier.
Interesting.
That's fantastic.
Now, Orly, I
do
know
that myself.
both you and Maria have questions, so let's start with you so we have time.
Yeah, so one of the things that I feel like happens sometimes if I notice that I wake up in the middle of the night, and I don't feel myself going back to sleep, I'm sort of like, whatever, I'm up. And so like I get my phone and I'm like answering emails and I'm just committed to being up. I assume that that's bad. That I grab my phone. Do you need my phone? You that. I'm looking for what's my solution. Help me, please.
Yes. So like no, triple no. Do not pull it out, because what happens at night, your brain goes to the negative and it catastrophizes. So we are like looking at politics, you're reading up on traffic, you're like Facebook stalking your ex at 2 a.m. Nothing good comes of it. So number one, when you wake up, it's just like, don't look at the clock.
Yeah.
Don't pick up your smartphone. Don't turn on the lights.
Don't look at the clock.
Don't look at the clock. Looking
at
the clock is kind of like you go past a bad accident, you look at it even though you know you're not going to like what you see. Same thing when you look at the clock, because exactly.
Yeah, and that's what happens.
And then you get yourself worked up and catastrophize, and then you're definitely not going back to sleep.
Okay, well, what about looking at your phone at night before you go to bed, not when you wake up?
So this is also something I want everybody to stop doing. That I know, but that's okay. There are solutions for this. That's why this is not just to tell you things are bad. It's the way to why exactly, because sometimes we have to use our phones. So what our phones emit is a blue light, which is one of the single strongest signals to our brain to stay awake, and it takes 1 to 2 hours for that effect to go away. So number one, you can just not use your phone or devices for an hour or two before bed, especially for kids. You have little kids. I have little kids. They are especially sensitive, so no blue light, no bright lights for an hour or two before bed. Or if you have to use your devices after my kids go to bed, that's when I write my book. You can use something like this. This is a blue light blocking glass. These are sleep doctor glasses.
Ooh, and you actually, if you order your book, you're giving our viewers 50% off.
Everybody who orders a book, go to drdarria.com/momhacks for a 50% off coupon, because I wear these. I love them.
And they look stylish.
I was going to say, you all look very attractive in this light.
Why, thank you.
You're normally good-looking people, but you are dazzling.
Maybe we should send them all to our viewers.
Yeah.
All right, Maria, you're up next.
Cool. Yeah, so I think this is something many moms deal with, and people in general, but stress. So running a household, organizing everything, working, and taking care of kids can be very, very stressful. I feel like we're trying to just keep our head above water. So maybe, do you have any stress management hacks?
Do I? And the stress chapter, resilience chapter of the book was the hardest to write because I needed it the most, but it became one of my favorite ones. So one of my favorite things is stop multitasking. I want everybody to single task, which is the antidote. Because we all multitask, right? And we all think we're pretty good at it. Here's the science. Our brains are not good at it. They, in fact, don't multitask. They ping pong back and forth. Right. And exactly, you know exactly about this.
I'm sorry, I've been reading about it. Researching that, yeah.
Excellent. And you're right, because what it does, it burns energy, it increases our stress hormone levels, and we're not actually any more efficient. We double our rate of error, and we decrease our productivity by 40%. So yeah, right? Wow. So you think, but the reality is we don't have time to multitask. So here's what's happening. You're cooking dinner, ordering, and by you I mean me, because this is what I do, or I used to, ordering shampoo on Amazon, and you're trying to help your kids with their schoolwork, and I bought 12 bottles of shampoo on Amazon, which I still have. If anyone needs a shower, you need a shower, come by. I have plenty. So instead, single task. It sounds like it takes longer, but since you're actually focusing, it takes less time. You do better work, and you save time. So also for those of us who have little kids, that means like no trying to respond to that work email while you're watching your kids, because you're like, I'll be voice dictating, and suddenly your work reply all email is like, Jimmy, don't lick your sister's face. Not good.
Before. I'm not going to lie. I've done that.
I mean, I've heard people have said that it's happened.
Darria, you are amazing, and we could talk to you for the entire 2 hours. Thank you so much for being here. Now, I'm going to take your advice and try to single task, and I'm going to let everyone know where they can get your book. Dr. Darria's book, Mom Hacks, will be available February 19th, wherever books are sold. And for even more mom hacks, you can visit her website at drdarria.com. Thank you, Dr. D.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Pleasure.
Still to come, Orly is taking this wardrobe staple from classic to chic. And we're putting love on display with Paige's DIY metallic photo frames.